Hey everybody, good Saturday afternoon to you all. August 10th. Is it hot as hell where you are, or is it decent? I know different parts of the country are now experiencing different things. For a while there, it seemed like we were all either hot as hell, or some of us were hot as hell and others were getting ravaged by earthquakes and you name it. So, I literally had absolutely no idea what to do for today's video. Hey, Clint. Welcome. Can't say that I'm in the best state of mind to really want to do any particular project, work on any particular project that I might have ongoing, craft-wise, art-wise. It's too hot for me to go sit outside and have one of those backyard or chit-chat sessions from my deck. So I decided I would sit down at my desk and we'll chit-chat and maybe do some art at the same time, or one before the other, whatever. Depends on how conversations go and how my mood goes, whatever. I do have some craft supplies sitting here in front of me, which include watercolor paper and watercolor pencils, water, paintbrushes, good pens and markers. I don't know, maybe I should just doodle without even looking, just doodle while I'm talking and see where it ends up at the end. I do like to doodle without looking, without watching. And just, I usually look and put my pen down and just let it go. So, hubby and Oliver are off on a bike ride. Apparently, they both don't mind the heat as bad as I do. I don't like heat. I don't like humidity. What's new? I also don't like being in a shitty mood. Especially on a weekend, when my husband doesn't have to work. And we should be able to spend more time together. But there, done with the pen. Hi, Luana, how are you? Good Saturday afternoon to you. Nice to see you. I look that way because my chat's over that way. Let's see if I can make this. I don't think I can make this any bigger than it already is. I don't know. Because I popped out the chat to move over there, but I guess my screen is still going to be the same size. I slept in today for a long time. Had a dog wake me up a couple times last night and get out of bed. And he knows he's not supposed to get out of bed unless he really needs something. So, of course, I let him outside the first time. And then the second time, I'm like, dude, like less than 5 minutes ago, I let you out. So this is not about needing or even wanting to go outside. So then it dawned on me that maybe he doesn't like the fan blowing on him, even though he's buried in blankets. He's from Arizona, so he likes to be warm. But obviously, there's warm and then there's like, I can't breathe, Mom. I'm warm. I'm too warm. I'm suffocating under these blankets. So he stood there at the side of my bed, and I looked down at him and looked at his blankets, and it just popped in my head, fine. You don't want to stay in bed? I'll put your blankets on the floor. More room for Mommy's feet at the end of the bed. So that's what I did. Put his blankets down on the floor, fluffed them up, patted him good for him to get him to go over there, and that's what he did. He went over there, laid down, and I didn't hear another peep from him all night long. So, I don't know, maybe he's just not, maybe at least in the summertime, comfortable sleeping under a bunch of blankets or in front of a fan or with a bunch of two other dogs and humans. So maybe that will solve my being woken up in the middle of the night problems that have to do with him anyway. That other one, yeah. No, she's a different story. She's the one who acts like you are trying to come in and rip the house apart and attack the people or animals that are in bed already when you come back to bed after you let the dog out at whatever time in the middle of the night. And she very often then will wake up everybody else. So yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time around here. Yeah, she thinks she's in charge. She acts like she's in charge. She bosses my husband around like she's in charge. She's sassy. Luana, Oliver, he's doing well. He's doing well. He's out on the bike ride with my husband right now. So he's got his iPad and is in the bike trailer and off for a 20-mile bike ride. So they have bumped up from 18 miles to 20 miles. They try to go every day except for when it's too hot. And like yesterday, Oliver decided all of a sudden he didn't want to go. He wanted to go on a car ride instead. Wanted to take his laptop and go on a car ride. So that's what we did. We all went. What are you guys doing this Saturday? Yeah, whoa, I know, right? And then there's me, who hasn't even yet gotten back on my bike since all of my, medical stuff started. I'm sure I probably could. It's just that, like I said, I hate heat and I hate humidity. And where we're at, with one comes the other. You're lazing around? Sounds like a good Saturday activity to me. Let's pick up some red. This one is, this is Artisto. What is it? The soft watercolors pencils. 72 premium pencils. This color, Merlot red. I'm not a fan of Merlot, but Merlot red is a darker red. Since I'm not a big fan of bright red, it works. And just like before, I'm going to scribble, but I'll kind of look at what I'm doing. so we don't have a bunch of mud by the time this is over. How about some orange? God, I hate, there's like these neon oranges in here, and I really dislike them. This one is more of a mango-y kind of, what do they call this? Red azalea. Notice they all have numbers too. Oops, sorry, that was my keyboard. Not going to read out names and numbers. Hi, Chris. Welcome. How are you this Saturday afternoon? Welcome to, I wasn't sure what the hell to do for a live stream today, and I'm not in the greatest of moods. And I've already taken a pencil, or a pen, and a Sharpie pen, and doodled without looking, just without picking up my pen. Went all the way around a page, a watercolor page, and now I am looking while I make all kinds of, this is apricot, although it's yellow. I don't know, guys, I don't know. All kinds of just watercolor spots amongst my Sharpie pen doodling. Here's a lime kind of green, but no, they call it apple green. I guess green apple. And trying to make sure we don't make mud, maybe. And I'm just going layer by layer in this container of 72, like I said, Artisto watercolor pencils, because like I am not a great watercolor. I am not a great dark green. Let's see. Jungle green. I am not a great I don't know. I'm not a great artist of any kind. I wouldn't call myself great at anything, any particular kind of thing. I like art. I like to do artsy things. Oh, sorry, I forgot to read out this color to you. Green jasper. I like that stone. And this does look like that stone. Green jasper. So that's fun. You guys want to see what I'm doing? You're a bit busy prepping the term that starts Monday. Oh. You know what? I didn't finish them all, Luana. I'm trying to space them out, the Halloween cards, just so I don't get sick of doing them and then not finish them, because this is actually my first year starting to do them again. And I'm not sure, I don't know. I guess I'm just not sure of my, how do you want to say it? I'm not sure of my Halloween card making skills anymore. I'm kind of starting over. So yeah, little at a time, so I don't burn out and also don't make a disaster. This color, purple sapphire. The feeling it's going to look a lot more blue on the screen. But it's very, 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 very purple. Oh, okay, blue. Blue is not my color. Haha. So the song goes. Denim blue. I do like denim blue. Well, thank you, Luana. And if I could remember to, I think I have an old video where I was able to find, I did dig out one Halloween card from before. And I just don't, I remember just being so very confident. What's this? Fuck. What is this? Cerulean blue. Sorry. I remember making those and just feeling really confident in my creepy Halloween card making skills, but that does not feel like the case anymore. How about some silver? A little metallic is good. And like Mary the Atelier says, a little gold in her opinion goes a long way. Not just even a little gold. Gold everywhere. She's a very big fan of gold. I personally like silver better, but in art, I do like gold as well. And there is gold right here to use, metallic gold as well. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, I won't forget you when I'm done, and I won't forget Clint either, my Halloween partner in crime. It's all Clint's fault, by the way. He is the reason I decided, okay, let's try again. Let's try again in not just making cards, Halloween cards, but caring about making Halloween cards and making ones that I want to send out to people. Because let's just say, over the years in the whole card making and mailing out holiday cards to people, not only has that changed, but even before that changed, due to postage and online things, internet things taking over. Yeah, being a special needs family, not only was my time more limited, but I realized that I was breaking my back actually in the bank for the postage, and making these intricate cards, and not really, whether it was Christmas or Halloween, not really ever getting anything back from anybody else, not even an acknowledgement, or if I did send out a Christmas card, I had to be the first one to send it in order for our family to get one back. So then I decided, well, you know what happens if we stop? What happens if we just stop sending them? Are people going to just forget and not care? And that's exactly what happened. Because we already weren't getting, the birthday invitations. We weren't getting the birth announcements. We weren't even getting the info that somebody in the family might be, was pregnant. Yeah. It's real easy to just leave behind family and friends or neighbors. Yes, you enabled me. Yeah, it's real easy to leave behind family and friends and neighbors and whatever, move on with your life, and leave behind family and friends and neighbors that have difficulties. Medical difficulties, mental health difficulties, whatever it might be. And in our case, it was a lot of medical and special needs. There goes dog alert. Sorry, I have no idea. They always think that they hear Daddy coming home, whether he's actually home yet or not. What was that? Let me read this. Dragon fruit. How about, I don't know how do you say this. This is that fruit, lychee. L-L-L, lychee? 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 I do too. And it's not that they didn't, I don't think it was not about, homemade items. It was about us. You get to where you feel like, you're too much for people. You're too serious, too overwhelming. There's too much drama, and people don't want to be around you. Or when they knew you before, and then they knew you after your life changed. Due to a disability or a disabled family member coming into your life. They get real uncomfortable real fast. And it's really, frankly, quite sad because, honestly, it's really sad. It's really shitty because that's when people would need you the most. Dragon fruit with Greek yogurt. Oh, God, that does sound good. And I can only imagine that this is probably how a lot of elderly folks feel, that their families, who have moved on with their lives and don't, spend any time with them, hardly, if at all. They become less important, even though they are the ones who, they are the reason the whole family exists. This is a good one. What is this? Seance purple. A good Halloween name. I have to remember that. There. See that dog? HBIC telling another one what to do. It's like, yep, sorry, honey, daddy's not home. You were wrong. And now you're mad at the other dogs because you were wrong. Yeah, so that's why I stopped making cards too. I stopped making all the Halloween cards, all the that I loved, all the Christmas cards that I felt at the time just seemed obligatory because that's what I had always done. And it didn't matter to a single fucking person. You just had pizza? Yum. I like pizza too. Didn't matter to anyone. Because the next holiday season, we got nothing. And that whole next year, there were babies conceived or babies born or weddings and you name it, all kinds of things that happened that we were never told about. We didn't find out until, well, hey, knock it off, you two, fighting over their bed, dogs. Yeah, we wouldn't find out until well afterwards. And, in our case, it's actually been a lot getting older grands and grand. Yep. Oliver's your backup. Thank you. I'm glad you love him. I'm glad there are people out there on the internet that we don't, and he doesn't even know in person, never met, never spoken to in person, and yet, they care. Especially when there are so many that you would think, and so many that the society assumes, because you do have family members, and if they live nearby, even more so, they assume that you have help and you have support. And quite frankly, from a lot of the parents I used to talk to in the special needs community, the more involved your child was, the more needs your child had, the less involved and more difficult and troublemaking even, and stressful it was to have those family members' relationships. And lots of them just stop. Like they say, this is where the bandwagon stops. A lot of people just jump off the bandwagon. I don't think anybody likes to see a sick child. Nobody's comfortable with a sick child. Well, guess what? As parents, we're not comfortable with a sick child either. Nobody asks for their child to be sick. Nobody prefers it. Nobody chooses it. Unless you want to talk about choosing life over not life. If you found out ahead of time that there was going to be an issue, and you get the opportunity, which is what science always wants to do, give you that opportunity, because you don't want to be, they don't want to be sued for not being giving you the time and opportunity to make a choice. So if you like we did, whoops, that one broke. See how fucking pissed off I am right now. We didn't, believe it was our place to choose whether our child, we didn't know if it was a boy or girl. Turns out it was Oliver, a boy. Whether he lived or died. That, whatever medical science could do for him and whatever he could do for himself would be the way it would be. And we weren't making that decision. It wasn't for us to make. So if you want to say we chose this in that regard, sure. Yeah, it made it hard, though, to be a grandma or a grandpa to a kid like him, right? Made it hard to want to be around us because we weren't the same. We were stressed out, worried, had all kinds of rules because of germs and illness. Hospital visit after hospital visit. Needing help with older kids that weren't quite old enough to stay home by themselves. God forbid that a grandma be asked to help with that. Actually, a step grandma, I should say. Broke another one. Breaking all these, you guys. I'm going to end up having to dodge or glue. I'm going to end up having to take this whole thing over to the pencil sharpener. Yeah, God forbid you should, as a grandparent, even as a step grandparent, when you ask what we need and we tell you, and you start to whine and complain, that what you want is to go to the hospital and sit with us while our child is having surgery, and that's not what we need you to do. What we need you to do is to help be sure that the other ones get off to school in the morning and get home from school in the afternoon. Oh, but yeah, we'll be home. We'll be home by the time you get, you have to go bowling because it's Wednesday. Yeah. Even when it's heart surgery. Heart surgery. Don't ask for any help when you say that your kid's going to have heart surgery because, vacations are scheduled. People's vacations are scheduled. And they lie and say it's their only vacation of the year. That's why it's so important. You can't possibly change their plans. And that's really what it boils down to, is we did all the changing that they didn't like, but we did all the changing to adapt to having become a special needs family with a special needs family member, and other people did not want to change. Other people wanted things to stay the same. They wanted status quo. They wanted what was easy, what they knew. It's fine. Trust me. After 15 years of, having my name slung through the mud, for entire numbers of family members to believe somehow without even asking me if that's really what happened. Yeah, we're better off. That also means 15 years, of some people never seeing their grandchild, which just is a fucked up concept to start with. You know what? And that's just it. Oliver's a fucking great kid. He's not even a kid anymore. He's 20. He's a great young man. He's a smart young man. And the people just purposely do not want to be around him. Want to blame me. Want to say I exaggerate his medical conditions so that they that I can keep them from seeing their son, my husband, and their grandson. As if I have so much power. And why would I want to exaggerate how bad or how serious my kid's medical situation was? Who wants it to be worse than it is? I don't have those kind of mental health problems. No, I don't. And then, family members who live out of state that can't or just don't visit much or ever over the years. Yep, we've got that too. And then we've also got, the times when Oliver's health has been so precarious and out of the blue, randomly out of nowhere, so scarily dangerous for him to be around other people that we do have to become even more recluse, say no to even more things or more people or change even more of what we're doing. It's not like it hasn't affected us at all, right? Just them. Just them. That's what they think about, is them. Not about how it's affected our lives. But how would they know? They don't ask. They don't call. Barely text. They sure as hell don't talk to me. I'm the enemy. I'm evil. Thank you. Thank you, Luana. He is an amazing young man. And I've decided I'm not hiding that from the world anymore. You know? I want to put him in pictures on Instagram and videos on YouTube and tell people about him and show other people not to be afraid and not to be assholes about disabled people. I just wish I could have done it when he was a baby too, and younger, and a child. He still looks like a child, so I guess when people see him, they probably still think they're seeing, if they see him out at a doctor's appointment, or the very, very rare trip to Target that he gets to go to. Or if they see him when Daddy's writing like he is right now, they probably think he's still a child. Looks like the size of an 8-year-old boy or so. But you know, it's okay. Ask the questions. As long as you're polite, great. Ask the questions. Let your kid ask the questions. That's great. Disability is actually part of life, people. Because even if you're not born disabled, or you don't have some sort of accident or illness or something that happens to you throughout your life, we all get old at some point, or we have some sort of medical condition that takes our life. Thank you. And people don't want disability to be normal. I don't know if that, confronts them too much with their own mortality. But if even children or even young people can be this sick. Oh, that gives some family members, that gives them angina. You got to stop talking about it. And so for 15 years, you don't even ask. You just send the obligatory, birthday card with the $30 or $50 check. And you start to send it without my name on it, just with his dad's name on it, and his, Oliver and Steve Cole. Not Renee. That's okay. It's okay. I realize you never liked me in the first place. I'm too bold. I'm too outspoken. I don't fall in line. People want you to make them feel comfortable. And if you are someone who just happens to be the type of person that, pushes their boundaries, they don't like that. And some people will go to great lengths to let you know they don't like that and that they don't want you around or don't want to be around you. Oh, the lies, you guys, that I could tell you that have been told about me. And told to everyone in the family so that they don't come around. And maybe two people. Two or three, maybe, in the last 15 years have bothered to question whether that would actually even be true or not. And by the way, thank you to those of you who've actually opened your mind up enough to, realize that you should ask and find out that, whether I really am such an evil, horrible person like you've been told. And found out differently. And then there's those who've been told that, what they've been told previously is really not true. And then still haven't reached out. Still don't care. Sorry, I'm trying to check the bottom, get to the bottom layer. And still haven't bothered to reach out to us, to even have internet contact with us in any way, Instagram, Facebook, anything. And your wife will sit next 3 seats away from me at a randomly, at a nail salon, but won't say a damn word the whole time. Will walk right past me on the way out, not say hi, nothing. Or you live less than a mile away, and you know the whole story. You know how what you were told isn't true. But do you come over? No. Do you even call because maybe you're afraid to just stop over? If you really, Oliver really is this sick child, maybe you could just call, reach out. Nope. So yeah, this whole world is going crazy. So much garbage is wrong in this country. Economy, this idea of dividing people. I don't have, I honestly, I care. I care about politics. I care about the people around me. I care about what happens to this country because I love my country. I've loved my country ever since I realized as a young girl how grateful I was to be born a female, a young girl, a girl in America, in the country of the United States of America. I do care about all the things that are wrong and fixing them. But it obviously isn't going to be me that fixes them. Do I have a say so? Whatever, whatever you can say about, the worth of a vote. I do vote. But what really is keeps me up at night or runs through my head, makes the tears sting and roll down my face is the disability stuff. You know, say whatever the fuck you want to me. Call me whatever you want to call me. You know, free speech, right? Free speech. Yep. But all the rights that are still not given to and not enacted yet, or rights denied to people with disabilities, and the shitty, nasty, mean words that are just flung around, and just in the pejorative, you know. It's you know, it's okay. I wasn't really talking about Oliver when I used the word retard. Why should you get upset? No, I wasn't really talking about Oliver when I said midget. Why should you be mad? Why should you be mad when, you know, people are cackling and laughing when an autistic person has a meltdown, and it's either in public or it's being shown in public because somebody filmed it and put it on the internet? Well, why should that matter to me? You're not autistic, Renee. Why should that matter to you? Why you shouldn't? You can't get offended for other people. Well, you know, here's my feeling, guys. If someone can't even get offended for themselves because of their disability, and even if they can, because in my opinion, even if they can, but especially if they can't get offended for themselves by how other people are acting and how other people are talking and the words being used about them or about the people like them, yeah, I am going to get offended. I am going to get offended because they are helpless. They are helpless. If there isn't people like me, then who stands up, right? Who stands up for them? Who makes sure they are treated properly? Who makes sure they are respectfully talked about? Their issues are addressed appropriately. I would think, you know, family members, parents, siblings would be the first line of people that should be offended. First line of people who shouldn't be using those words and saying those things, making those comments, making those assumptions. First ones to jump up and say, hey, you know what? Knock it off. Don't be talking like that. Don't say that word. You know, it's a really shitty word. I'm sure you all have a better vocabulary than that, you know, but maybe some people just fucking don't. Maybe you don't have a fucking better vocabulary than that. And then I feel sorry for you. And I really don't care about YouTube right now at this point because I'm not monetized anyways. Whatever cuss words, I'll just put some warning at the beginning of the video, right? That I'm using colorful language, discussing topics that may upset people. Probably I'll have to put warnings on videos of Oliver before I even show you some of the stuff, medically going on with him. It might medically graphic. Some viewers might find this disturbing. So disturbing, when someone doesn't eat by mouth and they have a tube in their belly. But all you see is a teeny tiny little small circle of a penny size on their abdomen, and a tube that gets attached when it's time for medicine or food. Because God meant for people to eat by mouth, as one of Oliver's nurses said to Oliver. Oliver, God intended people to eat by mouth. She got so angry when she made a mistake and splattered food of his all over in the doctor's office. Somehow it was Oliver's fault. But see, she wasn't really talking to Oliver. She was talking to me because she knew he didn't understand. She was talking to me. Oliver doesn't eat by mouth. Oliver doesn't take any medicine by mouth. He hasn't. He's had a G-tube since he was 6 months old. He's been home that way his whole life. He has never gotten any better about it. In fact, we've learned, how dangerous it can be for food to be, or anything to be in his mouth, liquid or solid. That's very scary. Just give him chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate? Well, first of all, I don't like chocolate. But who doesn't like chocolate? He'll eat it if you give him chocolate. Or if you just don't feed him, eventually he'll get hungry. He'll eat it. No, actually, none of that is true. None of that is true. There are conditions and, medical diagnoses, whatever you want to call it, where people never eat by mouth, and they can't. And they never will. Oh, and goodness, you shouldn't be giving him so much medicine. I mean, who could possibly need that much medicine? Who could possibly need to have that many breathing treatments in a day, that many doses of medication, well over 100 doses of medication a day? Who could possibly also have to need a pump to run food overnight because you can't get enough into the child in the daytime? Who could possibly have to, even still at 20 years old, still have such medical need that he requires a nurse, a skilled nurse, or a trained parent, trained caregiver, like us as parents? Because, nobody cares whether the parents get burnt out or that your child, doesn't get to see you as a parent. They see you as another one of their caregivers. And guess what happened? Guess what happened for the first time? Hugs. Bye, Luana. I'm sorry. Be safe. Oliver is 20. For the first time, when a nurse stopped working with Oliver, she took another job as a nurse in a school. And this is the first time that when she wasn't here anymore, he asked for her. He asked for the nurse that wasn't here. Never, we had no way of knowing whether he missed people, had those kind of feelings. You can't express them. So I guess the only way we really know now that he must at least, we know he remembers them. If he sees them again, he knows immediately who they are. But how must he feel then if all of a sudden someone who's been around for years or even months, just months over the summer like this, that took care of him, all of his essential needs, and I'm talking like all of the, hygiene needs, all of that stuff. Oliver can't really brush his own hair. He can't really brush his own teeth. He can't do a really good job of those things. He has to have help. And someone who's been helping him do all of those things, get dressed, be presentable, have his teeth brushed, have deodorant put on, have his face washed, clean his glasses for him, brush his hair, and then poof, they're just gone. And 99.9% of it over 20 years, he's never seen again. We've never seen again. Some of them, it's a good thing nobody's ever seen them in our household again. Trust me. But other times it's been very sad. And now I feel extremely sad for Oliver because it's very obvious that he knows who treats him well and who takes good care of him. And he wants to know why or where they are. He's expecting them to still come back through the door. And even if we tried to explain, he would ask over and over. He asks over and over for this last nurse. But it's a job. It's a job for them. They have to do their job. And sometimes it's better for them to do a different job than just to keep on working for Oliver. And while my husband and I understand that, and we understand that the nursing agency is a business. Yep, you can go too. I'll see you. Bye, Chris. Oliver doesn't understand. We may understand, but Oliver does not. Oliver doesn't understand that he has a niece and a nephew. What he understands is that every once in a while, a little boy and a little girl come over along with his adult sister, and they get into a bunch of toys. Things that might have been his at one point. Some of them. Because some of them, got passed down. And there are things, he doesn't want them to play with. They're his. And he still cares about him at 20 years old. And he doesn't want that 3-year-old little boy and that 1.5-year-old little girl that he doesn't really understand who they are and why they want to touch his things, why they want to play with his toys. His little shake and go Fisher-Price toys. Or his hot rod cars. They sure as hell aren't going to get their hands on his laptop or his computer or his iPad. That he won't let happen. He's not even happy to let Daddy touch it. My husband touch it to fix it or to change something on it for him. That is his world. Us. Here. And whatever he wants and needs from us, whatever he learns and sees and enjoys on the internet, on YouTube. He's learned a lot of things, though. A lot of things on YouTube that there was no way anyone in school that was responsible for any of his schooling, including me, could have ever taught him. And that's just it. He's amazing in so many ways. Amazing in what he's been able to teach himself. And so many people just miss the opportunity to be around people like that. Scared. Or they think they're better than them to the point where they don't want to be around them. They think badly of them, speak badly about people like them. Use ableist, hurtful terms. And act like it's all fine. It's all free speech. Yep. Go ahead with your free speech. When it's like that, you just do that. Doesn't mean that I am not going to have a reaction to that, though. Doesn't mean I am not going to have a reaction to that. Doesn't mean that there aren't going to be plenty of people who have a negative reaction to that and are going to tell you so. I just wish there were more people that would tell you so. Because free speech, it may be free in the sense that you can say whatever you want. Just doesn't mean it doesn't mean though that there's no consequences. Doesn't mean there's no consequences. And just because you can't legally necessarily maybe get in trouble for using the word retard or midget or nigger. Yeah, I said that word. Actually, you probably could. In certain circumstances, you could get in trouble for using that word, nigger, if it was involved in the, if it was being used while you were committing a crime. Yep, that's hate speech. Go ahead and use that word retard, right? Nobody cares. Nobody calls that hate speech. Go ahead and use make fun of people in their wheelchairs about them being lame and that they should just die and that they're useless and that they're a vegetable. Yeah, I read about one of those stories like that today. And why would his able-bodied wife even want to be married to him? She should just divorce him. She should just push him off into that pond or that swimming pool and just, never pull him back out. But I was glad to hear that he wasn't quitting. They were not quitting. They were not going to stop showing the world their life. Now Daddy is home, I think. Whenever I hear metal chinking, it's usually Oliver's oxygen tanks. Because, yeah, guess what? He's also got oxygen, too, and people, trust me, they notice that. They notice that. How could this kid need oxygen? What is this? Let's just stare and be scared or nervous. Point our fingers, talk about him behind his back. Like we don't know that happens. Or if one of us parents is walking behind, doesn't hear it all or see it all. So yeah, along with your free speech rights these days, ladies and gentlemen, how about some common sense? How about some compassion? How about some open-mindedness and thinking that maybe you don't know everything and maybe the things that you do are not okay and that you could do better. You could improve. Can't we all improve? Not a single one of us is perfect. I've been sitting here, right here, showing you right now, speaking to you right now, letting you know I'm not perfect. I cuss, showing you art that is most definitely not perfect. Oh, and guess what? I'm going to start art therapy soon. I already have a therapist. I already have a psychiatrist too. But I'm going to start art therapy soon. Maybe that'll help with some of the emotions. Art helps with the emotions, helps get things out, helps get memories out, deal with past shit. It's funny, in an awkward position, dealing with past shit like everybody does or should or eventually will, whether they want to or not. But I'm trying to do that while, the current stress just keeps going on. I don't know. How many colors do you think I have here? Too much of anything? I think it needs some more brightness, though. Like more of this kind of bright. This was that one purple. One of the ones I didn't break. I think when I have this all colored in, I think I'm going to take and put down some paper towels on my desk. And do something a little more radical to it. And just see what the end result is. And just let whatever it ends up looking like, just let it be. Let it be that. And that's okay. Because it's my art. I am very grateful for the people in the online YouTube community that I spend time with crafting, spend time with watching their videos, that maybe spend time watching mine. Because art is therapeutic, it does bring people together. And this day and age, it brings people together from all over the world that wouldn't otherwise be able to interact at all. I'm able to interact with people from Israel, people from London, other places in England, people in Australia, Tasmania, Australia, people all over the United States, people in Canada. I've interacted with crafters in India. In the very, very cold of Alaska. Obviously, one of our 50 states. Just a very extreme temperature environment up there. And very, very on the extreme of our borders, close to Russia. I've gotten to watch family life for a Russian couple and their kids, and how their life has gone the last several years. Never would have been able to see that before or learn from that. Yep. It's a love-hate thing, this internet, right? Brings people together. And when you bring people together, there's always the good, there's always the bad. Right? Some people will just say, oh, that's just human nature. That's just the way it's going to be. Well, human nature is whatever you choose that to be for yourself. We're not Neanderthals anymore. This is 2024, You're responsible for your behavior. You have a highly developed and evolved brain. You could use it for good. Instead of being a keyboard warrior, attacking, trolling, telling people to go end themselves, convincing them to actually do it. That's happened. This world needs a whole lot of change and has more to do with more than just the economics. Which party is in charge in Washington or in Moscow? Who the president is, or who the president is in North Korea. How much shit is made in China and sold wherever else. How much in taxes anybody has to pay. Got a human problem. I don't know whether I would actually say that the internet is made us better humans or made us worse humans. Today, in the kind of mood I'm in, I would probably tell you that it's made us worse humans. You know, those people who don't feel responsible for anything they say or do online. They can do whatever they want. Other people's feelings be damned. But if you were right in front of my face, would you say that? Would you do that? Probably not, right? But feel free. Go right ahead on the internet. Say things that are hurtful and mean and rotten, unkind, cruel, hateful, discriminatory, sexist, bigoted. Yeah, go ahead. Go right ahead. Everyone's entitled. Because the internet allows you to now. And allows you to find people just like you, that'll just, push your narrative even farther and wider across the country. Because we're living in a time when, somehow hate and lack of compassion and unkindness and bullying, as much as everyone says that's not okay, it's pretty cool online. Makes you pretty cool. Especially if you're 13? A 13-year-old who's lived so much that can make so many rotten comments and be so hurtful. And they've lived 13 years on this earth. Remember, nothing on the internet ever goes away. You can delete it, take it off of a platform, whatever, but nothing that you ever put out on the internet ever goes away. And we want to be able to, say whatever we want on our personal platforms, but God forbid our prospective employer look at that and not want to hire you. Or your current employer sees what you've said or done and they fire you. Yep. Don't act like you can just do whatever you want. Say whatever you want without consequences. Because it isn't true. It isn't true. Nor should it be true. Free speech. You have the right to say it all. Just about all of it. You have the right to say. But you aren't free from the consequences. And I believe in karma. I don't know what to believe anymore. Necessarily, spiritually. I'm not a religious person anymore. But I do believe in karma. That, what you put out in this world, it's all energy. And there's always to everything an equal and opposite reaction. That's the law, scientific law. So, I suppose we should choose wisely, huh? Choose wisely what we say, choose wisely what we do, not only in person, but yeah, and this wonderful thing we call the internet that keeps everybody so connected and makes the world work. Imagine if the whole world lost the internet, even just for part of a day. Imagine the consequences. I think I read a headline recently of teenagers who ended themselves literally because their parents took their phones away from them. Does that show you how addicted to the internet and social media and whatnot our society is? So when certain people talk about, not wanting to go backwards, there are some good things to go back for. Not every improvement or every change in technology and in science and society, social norms. Not everyone is a good one. Not everyone is a good one. And who's the keeper of what's good and what isn't good? We each are, right? We each are. We're each responsible to put out every day when we wake up in the morning that attitude, the words, behaviors. The way we treat other people, the way we think about other people. We're each responsible to do what we think is good or to choose otherwise. But I'm very well aware that with karma, not even just with karma, just with common sense, I'll tell you that the more good you put out in the world, the better it is for you yourself as well. The better your life is. Not just improving the lives of other people, but your life. As they say, right? If you feeling depressed, feeling anxious and upset and whatever else, the best thing you could do is to do something for somebody else. That one I still have to work on. I obviously have not mastered that because by no means am I saying any of these things because I have not made mistakes. Oh, made plenty of mistakes. I'm 53. You don't get to be 53 in this world without making mistakes. I've probably hurt plenty of other people, knowingly or non-knowingly. Probably got plenty of apologies to still give in my life. Ones that people think I owe them already. Ones that I may need to give based on something I do or say later on in life. So I too am not perfect. But I do have my lines that I will not cross. I do have my lines where I will not let other people cross, my boundaries. I do have the things that I think are right and the things that I think are wrong. And if that makes me judgmental, so be it. Will I tell somebody else how to live their life? No. But if certain things happen in front of me, certain things are said in front of me, or I read them, I am more and more inclined, the older I get, to use my voice and stand up for what is right, and to go after that which isn't right and call it out for what it is. People always say, oh, well, words are just words, and words evolve over time and whatever. Yeah, well, some of that might be true. It isn't always a good thing. Not everyone uses it as a good thing. Well, I sure am getting all these spaces colored in really quickly with this angst on my Saturday. I realize any viewers I had are gone now, and nobody is watching. I don't know who will even watch this on the replay. That's okay. Sometimes you turn on the camera and press record and start doing and talking. For your benefit and for the benefit of whoever else may need to hear it. Who knows who they are or when they'll watch it? Doesn't matter. It's like we said, the internet is forever. Who knows who may dig this video up someday. And what? May try to use it against me? Yeah, maybe. Who might hear it and think, man, maybe I need to behave a little differently. Maybe I need to speak a little differently. Maybe I need to be a little kinder. Maybe I could be a little bit better of a person. And there'll be plenty that maybe see it at some other time and, say that woman is full of shit. I can do what I want. So I think I have all of the spaces and then some covered. And I think I can draw some extra outlines from where I went outside of the lines I already had on here. So let me grab my Sharpie pen again. Come here, Sharpie pen. Just so everything is contained and separated. Ooh, let's see if I can separate it with these. watercolors. Oh, next to me I have a spray bottle filled with water that I am thinking I will just do what I thought of earlier. Once I get done with these lines real quick, put some paper towel down on my desk, get that spray bottle out. And since this is watercolor pencils that I've been using, I will just spray away and let all the colors run. All the colors run into each other. And run whichever direction they care to run. And then we'll see what good these lines even actually were, right? There's the one white square. The one white square I didn't color in. All right. Since we don't know where the colors are going to run, I'm putting the pen down, guys. Put the pen down. Grabbing the paper towels. And we're just going to spray away. Oh, don't growl, little guys. Don't growl. You have to share space. Yeah, you have to share space. You know, share space. Your brothers and sisters. Hey, 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 hey. Be kind. All right. Here goes nothing. No, I think I'm gonna. There's no way to adjust this, right? Oh, that way. Hey, there's a little bit of water on it. How much mud are we making, huh? Let's see what we can do now with the paintbrush. With some of this water that's already here. Gosh, I still have my jaw clenched up. Oh. I think angry art must just be therapeutic after the fact. That's my theory so far. Don't listen to me, though. That's just my opinion. Angry art isn't necessarily pretty art. That's for sure. Like I said, my jaw is still clenched up. So it may not even necessarily make you feel better at the time. But I'm damn sure hoping, since I'm going to sign up for art therapy, that there is some therapeutic benefit to it, at least afterwards. It's not while you're making the art, at least maybe afterwards, once you've got it out of your system, or when you go back and look at it later. And maybe later is who knows how long into the future. Maybe later is a couple hours later, a couple days later. All right, now I'm going to get out my blow dryer just to get this sheet dry. For those of you who aren't familiar, because it's no fun watching paint dry. Especially when you can use heat and make it go faster. Dry it from both sides. Now let's sprinkle a little something on there that is always fun to do. Makes things a little lighter. A little brighter. We need a little bit more paper towel here for that. Maybe it'll look like snow over the top. Maybe it won't look so wild and angry, or feel so wild and angry when I see it the next time. Some white paint and a good brush that'll flick. I'm just going to pour this paint right down here on the Yep, and you guessed it, after I do this, I either have to set it aside to dry, or I have to get the heat out again. And I think I'll probably just end up set it aside to dry. I don't know if I have much less left in me to say. It's one of those days. See how someone can be happy-go-lucky, talk to anyone, be happy. And that's really not how they are all the time, is it? I dare you to find me one person that is on YouTube recording videos and that they are their happy-go-lucky online YouTube video, YouTube live stream happy self all the time when that camera's off. I'm just showing it to you just showing it to you this time. Camera on. Crap, I need a fingerprint there. A little bit more in the middle. And this could be done. Put away the white paint. Throw away that extra white paint since it's on a paper towel. Throw away this watercolor soaked paint. Paper towel. Leave this one here for right now. So yeah, maybe I'll have to go back and retitle this video. Add a couple adjectives. Angry, bitter, therapy. I know I got mental health in there already, and art. I don't know if I left disability in there or not, because it's normally there, because I might talk about it at any given time. Goodness Lord, look at this hair. Not even my hair is good today. And it's freshly washed and clean. Didn't even get that done well today. Let's try one more time for that crazy, messy flop of a hair that I end up with on top of my head. Sure smells good though. It's nice and soft. No snarls. Smooth. Probably too smooth. That's probably the problem. I'm watching in the camera to see. Yep, and then this goes around. Sometimes I have a bobby pin on hand. I know most of you maybe don't even know what a bobby pin is. It's an old-fashioned kind of thing, I suppose, to secure hair in place. So I'll use the end of my paintbrush to push it back in to the underside of my backside of my ponytail. And there we are. Back to how you're used to seeing me. Back to how you're used to seeing me. So, for anybody who watches this after the fact, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just am not your everyday is a happy day crafter. I am not your everyday is a good mental health place. Not every day is a day that I just accept everything I read and that I see and that I hear going on with the world around me or people around me. Not every day is a good day at me being at peace with my things that have happened to me and my family. Not every day is a good day about letting go of the past with or without an apology. Yeah. So I'm human. That's the way it is. I hope to see some of you guys again and be in a better mood, make some better craft, or listen to some better music. Than what I've obviously given you today. But you can't say it wasn't real.